I know it's been quite some time, but John and I were just trying to figure out our fashion for the show. As you can tell, we finally linked up after a couple of months.
It's about time you start taking fashion tips from me, Brian. I'm glad to see you've actually figured out your life.
Probably one of the worst decisions I've made in my life.
One of the best ones.
Okay. So yesterday the Patriots lost in Miami, courtesy of the Miracle in Miami, 34-33. John, before we get to that last play, let's talk about everything up until that final play. You know, to me, I think the offense did well, the defense, not so much.
Yeah, the fact that you're talking about a defense giving up, 34 points, especially on a football team like the New England Patriots, that's a problem right there. Typically, your offense should be able to score 33 points, and you should be able to win the game. The fact that you gave up 34 points, and it was a shootout in the first half, Miami only punted the ball maybe, once, or maybe successfully punted the ball once. The defense was starting to click a little bit, especially on special teams, but the fact that you allowed Miami to just push the ball down the field, I think they only had 2 third downs in the first half. That's a problem, and when you're facing a team like Pittsburgh that can capitalize on some of the mistakes that you have on your own team, that could be a bigger problem.
Yeah, well, we'll take a look at the AFC East standings. Had the Patriots actually won this game, it would have been a hat and T-shirt game. They would have won the AFC East for the 10th year in a row. Take a look right there. I mean, now the Dolphins, they can still win the AFC East. A couple things do have to happen. I think it's unlikely that it happens, but there's still an opportunity for them. For me, you know, as you said, John, 33 points, that should be plenty enough to win a football game. And of course, we saw last week against the Minnesota Vikings. Take a look at the box score here. That defense did a great job against the Vikings, and then you see here, nothing really stood out to you except the very bottom, Brandon Bolden. Remember him, good old friend, 2 carries, 60 yards and 2 touchdowns? I mean, this team defensively for Miami had some of the worst rankings in the NFL. I think they were the 31st best rush defense in the NFL, and the Patriots really couldn't do anything with Sony Michel. I mean, I know he had 112 yards. Congratulations. But, I mean, and I think they had the 30th ranked, defensive pass defense. Thank you. And, Tom Brady couldn't even get 300 yards. And at the very end of that first half, they had chance to get points, and they put easily left 3 points on the field. I mean, this should have been a double-digit win for the Patriots, but they just blew it.
You talk about the football mind of Tom Brady, the football mind of Bill Belichick. The fact that the Patriots were inside the Dolphins' red zone territory with, just under a minute left to go, and you still come up empty,
and that was after the second block punt.
That is a problem right there. And, Tom Brady can take all this garbage that he wants, saying, it's my fault, I should have paid attention. At that point, when you're getting rushed by the Miami defense, throw the ball away. At that point, just take the intentional grounding. Kick the 3 points there. Now, Stephen Gostkowski, he's not exactly any prize on the day either. He missed a field goal, he missed a PAT. If he hits both of those, then I think if my math's right, that would be pretty close to a win, even with that Miami Miracle touchdown run. I think that would have been a win.
An extra point would have put you in overtime. A field goal would have won you the game. I mean, it was just lackluster. All right, let's talk about that final play, the Miracle in Miami, the play that they took from Boise State Broncos, the double lateral play. Should Gronkowski have been on the field on that final play?
No, and no.
Well, I asked you one question. You answered 5, but okay.
I want to get credit for the next 4.
Okay, good.
But if you're talking about the ball being placed at New England's 45, Tannehill has to get the ball in the end zone from 45 yards out. That's a Hail Mary play. At that point, I'd say, you know what? Maybe get Gronkowski in there, guard the goal line. The fact that you had the ball on Miami's, 20?
They were on their own 29-yard line.
Yeah, the fact that you had the ball there and you have Gronkowski on your own goal line, that's just bad. That's bad coaching, bad planning. At that point, Rob Gronkowski shouldn't have been anywhere near the football field, much less on defense.
Well, the thing that was interesting, they took Devin McCourty off the field to put Gronk on.
Yeah.
Now, Tannehill has one good leg. He has a bum throwing shoulder. There's no way he's going to throw that ball 70-plus yards in the air to get down to the goal line. So you knew something like that was going to happen, where they're going to have to do a short pass, either try to get out of bounds really quick and, maybe try Hail Mary from the 50-yard line, so on and so forth, or try that lateral play. But the Patriots had 2 timeouts right there. They sat there and they said, okay, well, if they throw it to the sideline or if they try to get it down the middle of the field or whatever, they didn't think that they could get Gronk on the field in time. But you still had 2 timeouts left. It was just poor coaching at the end of the game. And I know people always say, "Oh, it's Miami. Brady is 1-5, I think, his last 6 years down there." It's just Miami. That's not a characteristic of this team right now, especially at this time of the year. The Patriots do not lose in December. They don't lose at the end of the year. This is when they start to come together and make their run into the postseason. But right now, this doesn't look like a Super Bowl team. But luckily for them, the AFC is just horrible.
You can say it's horrible, but the Patriots haven't exactly been a prize this season either. I talked about it, I think, no offense, the last time we were on Out of Bounds, which was after the Detroit game. It was a dumpster fire after a dumpster fire because that was the Jacksonville-Detroit game back-to-back. The fact that you now have 4 nightmare performances, all 4 losses, that's troubling because with this loss, more than likely, you just screwed away the number 1 seed in the AFC. So now you think about, well, maybe the number 2 seed. Houston's been on a roll. They lost to the Colts, snapping their 9-game winning streak. Pittsburgh, they're always concerning to me because it feels like they can always come up out of nowhere and can show up for a big game performance like this Sunday in Pittsburgh against the Patriots. And Baltimore. Baltimore scares me to death as a football team. The Patriots, I think, cost themselves the season with this performance in Miami.
Yeah, well, even though with the loss, the New England Patriots still have the number 2 seed. Okay, well, that's going to wrap up our episode of Out of Bounds. As always, you can watch any BTV programming, including Out of Bounds, on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com and search BTV Access. For John Luck, I'm Brian Berard. Thanks for watching.